Hello everybody, it's Emma from Misfit Gardening. Say hey Ginger. And Matilda. Hengist is currently going through the molt, so she looks terrible. But Count Caligula's got some feathers back. Huh? There you go's looking good. So I brought you guys out so I could show you the new birds. This is the second time they've ever been outside. So I just built this coop today. This is a Precision Old Red Barn 2 coop. The latches on it were shocking. We've actually had to push this down to keep it closed while we go buy some new ones. Same on this one here, the latches were just terrible. It was super easy to put together though, which was kind of nice. We have an overly complicated latch up here. Nice window and stuff though, but we've actually insulated everything in here, and I just wanted to show people how we did it. It's not totally done. Like I said, complicated latch. But we used the styrofoam or polystyrene mylar backed insulation and just kind of glued it in. So this is the inside of the coop. Put it all together today. And there was a couple of reasons really why we built a prefab coop instead of building one like our normal coop. And that's because this is mostly just going to be for the meat birds, so they're not going to be in it for long. I did want some insulation in here because, you know, they're going to be in it in the dead of winter. And, you know, really it was just kind of a time versus, you know, cost kind of thing. I picked this one up for $329 from our local farm supply store. The installation was $9. So, and it wasn't too expensive. I mean, it was a lot dearer than, you know, what it would have cost to make my own. But we wanted to get these guys outside, you know, a lot sooner, and there's plenty of space in here for them to move around as well. Although my husband's saying that he doesn't want them to move around too much because he wants to keep them tender. So he's just popped to the farm supply store so we can get some hardware so we can actually hang up the feeder. And we're going to get another feeder like this one. So there's going to keep it off the floor, which is a lot better. Yeah, you guys are finding it kind of cool, aren't you? So one thing I found having chickens is that, particularly in winter here, they seem to get kind of cabin fever. So they like to have lots of things to do, and we did have a problem with our older flock with cannibalism. So, oops, got some rocks and things on there for them to kind of peck at and explore. There's probably some critters in and around it. Got some leaves and things underneath for them to scratch through. So just things to try and keep them occupied rather than on each other. The nice thing is, the not nice thing is these latches. It's terrible. Definitely the quality of the coop that we built is a lot better than the prefab one, but you know, it's gonna hold up and do what it needs to. What I like about it actually is, you know, it does feel quite spacious in here, and I like the extra roosting bar that's out here for them to kind of hang out on. I can't open this, but there is a pull-out drawer. Oh, although it needs better handles on it to be able to pull it out, and that's kind of nice, to pull it out to be able to clean up and things. And I do kind of like the roof. It's a lot easier to do than shingling this roof, but this one's walk-in, and that's really cool for us because, you know, it's easier to kind of clean out in here. And you can see they've got like leftover pumpkins, tomatoes, lots of leaves and things like that for them to do. This one, we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to lift the whole thing up and move it to be able to clean out underneath here for the poop and stuff. So there's pros and cons to both of them. We're going to keep insulating this, probably going to add some stuff into the roof part of the roosting area, try and keep things a little bit warmer for them. But yeah, new coop, and I'm going to show you guys the greenhouse as well, so hang on. Got the hive all tar papered up and ready sort of for winter, so we'll see. Kind of hopeful. A little worried that mice are going to get attracted to it though, but if you guys have bees or know people who have bees, you know, we'd really welcome some tips about winterizing them, so please feel free to let me know in the comments. But ta-da! Here's the greenhouse. So the bottom of the door is now wood because Sparky actually ran through it and destroyed it to try and bark at the neighbour's dog. So we made it wood. So all the outside's done. It's actually raining right now. We're going to have to get some guttering up. Maybe a water barrel, water butt or something like that over here to start collecting some water. Over here, I mean, this is kind of dead space. I'm thinking of moving our leaf mold containers to down here and having a bit of a gate. I was considering putting some plants back here, but obviously this is like permanent shade, so I'm not entirely sure about that yet. One thing I will say is when you're using this polycarbonate stuff, go down an extra bump if you can, and I will show you why when we get inside. But yeah, husband's done a really good job. Our cold frame that we built a couple of years ago, obviously it's wet now, but we're going to be trying to dry this off, maybe in the shed or the carport soon, so we can actually get it painted, so it's going to match. Kind of cool. I am not having any luck with locks today. Inside we've got a couple of things already sort of drying. This is actually going to be the press for husband's drill press, because his workshop and stuff's going to be in the shed over here. Obviously we've still got to put the insulation in. I bought that today. Going to need to get some plywood and stuff as well. But my reasoning for telling you guys to go down an extra bump if you can when putting this up is for this reason. So we've got a gap in pretty much all of the windows. Oh no, look. Winged asshole. The last thing I want is wasps setting up shop in here. But all around here as well, you see we've got kind of a gap around. I'm a little concerned about it. The straw's just in here drying to protect it from the rain. Mostly I'm concerned because when the temperatures really drop here and get below 0, I'm a little concerned that it's, you know, going to make it really cold in the greenhouse. I mean, I'm not wanting to, you know, heat it to grow mangoes or anything like that in here, but, you know, I'd like to get a really good start on stuff. My other concern is that we've got these big old gaps that have shown up around the windows. So I'm going to have to see about putting some stuff in to try and close them off a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I've never really had a fancy schmancy greenhouse before. I always use those pop-up ones, which blew away quite a lot, even when pegged down. So I'd really like to know from you guys that have got a bit more experience growing in greenhouses. Would you be worried about these gaps or not at all? So let me know. That would be awesome. And the final update for this week is just out here, and it's the food forest. You can't even see the mountains for the clouds today. You can see we're really kind of building it up with the leaves and things and coop bedding and stuff to try and build it. These guys are having a fantastic time, as per usual. Hey, you guys are always in here. But I've put a lot of leaf litter in here. There's a good few inches, at least 5 or 6, and this stuff's going to drop, particularly when the snow gets on it as well, so it's going to kind of compact it down a bit. Got cardboard underneath, you can kind of see here, and hopefully come spring I'm going to get some manure, and I'm going to get some compost. I'm probably going to have to buy it in because I need so much of it, and I just don't have enough composters to be able to handle it all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer manure, then I'm going to layer compost, and I'm going to start kind of building these up. So I'm going to build them up with some currants, some berries, lots of herbs, kind of the typical things that people put down here are things like comfrey, because they help draw up some of the nutrients and things in the soil. I'm wanting to do some things that are a little bit different. Definitely things like comfrey, but I like things like lavender and dill or fennel, things that are really good for the bees. So I want to really incorporate a lot more flowering plants and herbs into this type of landscape for next year, so we've got some forage for the bees. So that's really all the updates that I've got. So from me and the Cluckers, have a great weekend, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.